What's up, everybody? My name is Alex, and I am here today to show you how to play 7 Days to Die, the survival horde crafting game for super beginners, people who have maybe played the game like twice, maybe they played the game 7 times, and they're like, I keep dying, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to play this game, and they just find other people who are playing it that are way too pro and are way too experienced, just going right over all the little details you need to go through. So this is how you start the game fresh, from the beginning, from scratch, how to survive, how not to die constantly. So this is for Alpha 18. So the current release of Alpha 18 is Alpha 18.4, and you'll see that in the upper part of your screen. Now I have it on build 4. You may not have it on build 4, this little B4. All the rules still apply, and I can go through how to get build 4 another time with you. But basically, this is how you play Alpha 18. So when you start the game for the first time, I don't think you'll have a continue game. I'm not even sure. I'm currently at almost 1,500 hours of the Steam version of 7 Days to Die, so I don't remember what it used to say the very first time I loaded this game up. But we're going to start out by going new game. So like many games, you have tons of different sort of selections and options and things that you're able to start. So first things first, name your game. So we're going to call this game YouTube Game 784. And now you're going to have Game World. Now, when it comes to 7 Days to Die, they have preset worlds and they have random generated worlds. So if you're trying to play like a Minecraft random generated, it can turn into anything. You can use this here to go over to, or maybe it's back, to go to new random world, and here you can select the world size. Be aware, if it's a really big size of world, it's going to take way longer to load every time, which is kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. If you're brand new starting this game fresh, I would recommend the Navezgane map. It's a preset map, and it's the same exact map every single time, but all the loot is different, and where the zombies are going to be are different, and everything's, you know, different except for the map is the same. So I'm going to go with Navezgane map to start out with. And I'm going to ignore this here because you're not creating a server. Your difficulty settings here are Scavenger, obviously the easiest one. If you're dying a lot, you can go to that. I would recommend the default of Adventure. Anything above that, Nomad, Warrior, Survivalist, Insane, would not recommend for a beginner. I would not recommend for a non-beginner. It doesn't even matter. If you go to the Insane level, you're going to have challenges. Now here's a 24-hour time, so that's how long it takes for one entire day. Now, an important thing to know off the cuff, which you may or may not have realized about this game if you've played it or not already, is that nighttime is danger time. It is when the zombies run. So if you have, for example, a 60-minute day, you're going to have a lot of your day is going to be daytime, but you're going to have a certain period of time which is going to be nighttime, dark time, spooky time. So the longer your day is, the longer your night's going to be. So 120 minutes, for example, means you're going to have a lot of time hiding out in the darkness. So for these sort of beginner purposes, I'm going to set it to 60 minutes. You might want to start it to 90 minutes. That's pretty standard, I think, for people who are just starting. Daylight length, I leave it at 18 because I want more daytime than nighttime. But if you want to give yourself more of a challenge, you can set it for 12, daylight length. But I like to leave more time in the day. Everything else pretty much is going to be the same. A lot of people in the past have said to me like, Alex, I'm having a really hard time playing 7 Days to Die. I'm dying a lot. I think I'm going to put it on like, super easy, triple, the easiest mode kind of thing. I don't think that you need to do that if you're dying a lot. It's not what you need to do. You just need to learn sort of the tips and tricks on how to not die a lot in this game. And that's what you're going to learn here. So the next one is Advanced. I leave pretty much everything the same except loot respawn time. I personally like to set at 5 days. And drop on death, backpack only. There are different options to delete all. Why would you ever do that? It's super triple challenge mode, I guess. You can also go tool belt only. You can drop everything, which means everything in your inventory will be dropped on the ground. But I like to drop the backpack and then keep everything that's on the action bar, just personally. All right, so then we're going to mark airdrops is going to be on. Those are the sort of basic things. We don't need to mess with multiplayer at this point, but those are the settings I use in case you do. So once you have this all done and you pick Navezgane map and you've entitled it and you're good to go, then you press start and then you begin to wait for a number of moments for the actual game to begin. So we will just pause the recording for a moment while we let it load. All right, and we are back 20 years later. No, just kidding. It probably took don't know, a couple minutes. It's not the end of the world. It takes a little while for your map to load in. It's fine. So you get a first window, which I accidentally just canceled out. I can't remember what it says. Oh, I think it says something along the lines of, oh no, you were found in a river and like all your stuff's gone, but I gave you some basic supplies and tools and let's see how you do. Noah, I think the name is. So yeah, you're like, cool. And then this one here lets you know that there's a quest chain for you to follow. Basic starter opener quest chain for you to follow. So we have spawned into the world. Boom. Okay, desert. It's a little warmykins. Actually not quite yet, but it will be. So Albuquerque, we can confirm that, although we don't know where we are. Ooh, okay. Well, it says don't go to Roswell, but now that totally makes me want to go, but that's not the point. All right, so we kind of have an idea of where we are currently. So the first thing that it says that we need to do, and I'm pressing tab here to open up my crafting menu, is craft a bedroll. Now, a bedroll is going to be your spawn point. It's like you can place as many of them as you want, but whatever your most recent bedroll that you place on the ground, and I'll show you how to do it here, that is where you will respawn if you die. So you just go up to the grass and you just punch it. It's everywhere on the map. Doesn't matter where you are. You know, it might be a little more sparse. It might be a little more full in some areas. Depends where you are. We are currently in a desert biome, if you can't tell. Yeah, there are a number of biome types featured in this game. You got your green area. I don't know if there's official names for it. This is just what I call it. You got your green area, which is like nice and happy and green and very comfortably tempered. The temperature is really great every day. You don't overheat. You don't get too cold. Temperature is a thing in this game. And so, yeah, green area is great. Love green area. Green is good to go. You got your desert. This is this area. Overheating happens very quickly, and I would not recommend a beginner to start their base here. You got your snowy area, which is cold, also would not recommend. And you have your burning area, which is kind of like a dark, spooky, burning kind of area. Not recommend, again, hot. And then you have your wasteland. Don't go there, and hopefully we will show it much later in the episodes, because even I, the 1,500 hours almost in this game, do not like going to the wasteland. Well, the wasteland is basically just a nuclear apocalypse wasteland where there's just dogs and birds and it's just terrible, so don't go there. Alright, so even though that was a little bit ominous, you have to go to the wasteland. The wasteland does not come to you, so that is reassuring. So at this point, we are in the desert and we are just going to continue to get some plant fibers, grass, whatever you want to call it. Cool. All right, so now you press tab and tab brings up your crafting menu and you're going to want to select a bedroll here and you can click craft or just press W to just fast craft it. So then here on the bottom left, you're going to see that it is crafting. Now, different things take different times. If you're going to make like 1,000,000 of something, it's going to take way longer for you to craft than making one of something. All items are not consistent. So it's going to take you a different amount of time to make a bandage than a bedroll, for example. So now we have Mr. Bedroll. Now we can click on it and we can see all the information about it, which in this case is not that helpful. And we're going to place it in our action bar. And then we're just gonna figure out a place where we want it. I think right here. Boom. Now we have a spawn point. Also, you will see on this upper part, which I can't, there we go. This part of the screen right here, you're gonna see that we can see. It's like the Bethesda sort of like if you played Fallout games. It has that directional sort of system where you're able to see what you're trying to aim at. So you can always know, if you put this in your home base, for example, this is where your home is. This is where your bed is. And if I placed another one right here, then that would disappear from it. It would no longer be valid. It would no longer count as a bedroll. Even if your new bedroll gets destroyed, the old one does not just take precedence. It's still there, but it has no significance to your game. So step 2, it's going to want us to gather wood. Now, of course, we're in the desert. Not ideal. There are some trees over there. Sometimes can find a... Ah, yes, there we go. So you can punch these. Kind of annoying. Desert is not an ideal spawn. It's not the end of the world, but yeah. So you can see in the upper right corner of the screen that we are gathering wood. And we have 2. Cool. Okay. Now, the next thing it wants us to do here is gather some stones. Now, you have 2 options for stones. One, oh, and we hit a cactus. Be aware that cactuses are not your friends. You can punch stone like this, which, ow, it doesn't injure you, but just mentally it's injuring. Or 2, what I like to do, if possible, find some small stones on the ground. Now, sometimes it can take a minute. Here we go. If that's a bird's nest, you know, I'm going to grab that. Actually, I'm going to leave that because we're going to come back to that in a moment. Oh, stones. Boom. All right, now press tab again. Craft a stone axe. So here we go. This is our main item. This is like the thing that you're going to have forever until you start to upgrade its levels or you start using different types of materials. Your stone axe is like your main everything. So you can click that to see your kind of basic information, everything that it does. At this point, you can just continue on, I guess, with this because we got a number of plant fibers at the beginning. So just craft the pants, craft the nope, don't favorite it. I mean, it's not like not my favorite, but like, you know, it's whatever. So let's click this, wear the pants, wear the shirt. Boom, we're getting along in the missions here. Now I'm going to quickly go and chop this tree down because there is nothing more annoying than making your first stone axe. It doesn't break down ever, it doesn't die, but you have to repair it. And if you don't have any more wood on you, that means you're gonna be going back and you're gonna be punching stones and it's a whole thing. So I always like to take a moment after I have my first stone axe just to make sure that I have the ability to make a few more. Well, not make new ones, but to repair them. Because, yeah, just a rookie mistake that I still make to this day from time to time. I'll be playing a game and I'll be like, oh, yeah, now it's broken and I don't have any more. So, you know, one of the things about this game is don't be too anxious to just run around and get things done. I know there's a million things that you have to get done. And I know that you want to get it all done because, you know, let's be real here. There is a time of day. It is 9:22 a.m. Now on my game, with the settings I showed you at the start of this video, at 22 o'clock, 2200 hours, when this says 22 and a 00, that's when the dark time comes. When it says 0400, I don't know, 4 a.m. basically, that's when the sunlight comes out again. So for the entire nighttime when it's dark, the zombies will run after you, and when you're a beginner player, you do not want to be stuck in the middle of a town or in the middle of a house and deal with a lot of zombies. That's a lot. That's a lot for an experienced player, let alone a new player. So we're keeping our eye on, for my settings, 22 o'clock, 2200 hours. The other thing to keep in mind is we are also on day 1, right here. Day 7, how would I describe it? Let's just say on day 7, a massive horde of killer zombies are going to run towards you and there's going to be like 1 million of them and it's going to suck a lot. So you really need to be prepared for day 7 and you need to have some kind of tower. That's one of the great things about this game is not only is it just survival like Minecraft or like any other millions of games that are similar to your basic survival game, but it's also a tower defense game. Every 7 days a horde will arrive and they will attack you and you need to have some kind of structure that you have reinforced and put traps, or you put electrical, you could have barbed wire, you could have crazy electricity traps that start like sparking up and spinning blade traps, and you can have all these amazing things that can defend your base with. And every 7 days after that, a new horde will show up and they will be more difficult. And the first 2 hordes are kind of like, you can kind of survive in a house like this. Your 3rd horde, you're having zombies that literally will explode the side of your house. So you need to be significantly more prepared. And speaking of zombies, it's time to craft a wooden club. Now, I call the wooden club a booper because when you hit the zombies, and I'm just going to move my items in my action bar to the side for a second here. Scrolling over using the mouse wheel. You can use your number key, but it's easier if you have a mouse wheel. And this is for PC. Just figured I'd add that. I call this the booper. Boop, you boop them on the head. Now, you see a house and you think to yourself, oh yeah, let's go in the house. Don't go in the house. Don't do that. I know it's tempting, and I know you see the house and you're like, but there's a house and it's cool. And look, it's neat. All the other games I played, they don't have houses. And this house, look, no. No. Okay. So what you're going to want to do at this point is you're going to want to press M. Bring up your map. There's lots of houses. Trust me, you're going to spend the rest of your freaking life in this game looking at houses. Bring out the map. Again, using the mouse wheel to scroll in and out. I don't know if there's other controls for that, but I'm assuming you have a mouse wheel. So click and hold, and that's how you can move it around. So you can actually kind of click and hold and drop. Click, drag, drop. Click, drag, drop. And you can see around the map. Now, the navigation map is actually pretty small. Some of the random gen maps are very large, and they're much larger than this one. But we're on the navigation map. We're familiar with it. We know how it works, and this is how it works. So at the very top, I'm going to go all the way up north. The very north block is all snow. all snowy area. The next block, so if you scroll down a little bit more, the middle block is going to be, so if you go like this is going to be snow. This is going to be grass, nice, happy green area. Can you see my hand? Yes. This is going to be desert, and this is going to be wasteland. That's how the tiers of this go. So where we are right now is here, which means we are going to have to head north. So I press escape, and I'm going to look around at the top of my map for direction, and I see north is this way, so I'm going to head north. Now you can, if you see a car and you can loot it, there's nothing wrong with looting a car. Looting a car is fine. You never know what you're going to find. And we found one of the rarest items in the game. You know what? The funny thing is, I was doing this recently, and I was like, I'm going to search a random car, because what could be in it? There's rarely anything awesome in a car. Sometimes there is. It's worth it, but most of the time it's average. And I found 40 bullets, which is a very rare find. So yeah, we have found an extremely rare and extremely valuable item. So awesome. You know what the funny thing as well is I have different multiplayer games going currently, and yeah, we can't find that. So wish I could send it over. Can't, but that's fine. So now the game is wanting us to find some feathers. So that thing that I showed you before that I was like, ooh, let's grab that. No, wait, let's go grab it later. And then I forgot about it. Yeah, that's what we needed to find. So you need to find a bird's nest. So what I recommend is keeping to the sides of the roads and just kind of looking right a bit. That I have always sort of found. Now at the beginning, it's okay to be a little passive and not deal with the zombies. We will. Trust me. We will deal. There we go. Bird's nest. Open up. 4 feathers. Nice. You can also get food. You can get eggs from that. Who doesn't like a hard-boiled egg? So maybe a little bacon and eggs. Also lovely. You know, depending on what your nutritional sense might be. Either way, grab a couple of those as you see them. I would recommend being very mindful of where the zombies are at the beginning. Bunny! Oh, cactus. Dang it. Wow, we lost the bunny. Okay. We're heading north because we don't want to be in this area. Now, if you are in the snowy area, you head south. If you are in the desert, you head north. If you're in the burning area, you head north. If you're in the wasteland, you head north. I don't think you can spawn in the wasteland. I really, really hope, for your sake, you did not spawn in the wasteland. Yeah, and again, this is just for the Navigaine map. All the other types of maps are all completely differently designed. We are going to keep heading north. Gonna keep ignoring the zombies. Grab little stones here and there. Try not to get too close to them though. At this point, you just don't want to waste any time. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. You know, we have a whole day ahead of us. We really just need to get out of the desert and get to where it is a little bit more temperate. I don't know if this house... I'm starting to see some green trees, and that's a good indication that we're getting closer. So I'm just going to keep heading north. You find a little backpack on the ground, totally feel free to loot it. Ooh, 7 glass jars. Nothing there. It can be a great thing to stay on a road. It can also, like, not be a great thing to stay on the road, and depends on, you know, where you're trying to get to. You really don't. It's not like World of Warcraft where you get off the path, there's going to be, like, crazy stuff. No. The zombies are not, like, side of the road, you know, locationally designated only. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, a little bit off the road. Okay, so we spawned in pretty south. A little more south than I would have realized or liked, but that's okay. Because I just want to get you guys to a nice green area where the temperature is okay. You can overheat in the desert. So yeah, we will be going through in this series how to survive all the different temperatures in this game. And we will, of course, be going through all the different block types and things like that. All right. Now it looks like we are coming upon the burning area. Yeah, as expected, this is the burning area. So this is your basic burn. Now there are some more high level zombies in the burning area. There's these dudes that are on fire. Probably don't talk to them. They don't want to chat. They're not there to be your friend. They look cool, especially at night, but when it's nighttime they can also run, so you know, just YouTube video of that for now. We can check... Nope, we're not going to check that because I just saw a shadow of a flying bird. And I don't care how many hours you have in this game. If you are 5 minutes into the game and you get a bird attack you, you will very potentially die. That is the higher level burning zombies that, although look cool, are not your friend. Don't be like them. We're almost there. I can see the burning area in the distance. Birds are a major problem as well. You got your zombies, okay. You also have your birds, your boars, you have your dogs, your wolves, and you have your flying demon birds from HE double hockey sticks. And you don't want to be going around those guys. So, almost there. Now, a thing to remember, because of the fact there's not a lot of grass, I mean, there's still grass. So if you do happen to spawn, you can break these down and you can still get grass like normal. But this can be, because of how sparse things are, this can be a great place to grab an extra stone. It's a lot easier to see where birds' nests might be. So the desert in this area can be good for that. But thankfully, we have made it to the green area because, yeah. So let's go and boom, look how nice it is. It's like that place doesn't even exist. Bird, you better just, yeah, you better turn around. Okay, see the birds? We don't want to deal with those guys. So I'm just going to keep moving for a moment. We do have our booper. We can boop them. Now, I also should mention, if you did not know, you press WASD to do your basic movement, but you press Shift, left Shift, and W at the same time to run. So this is W. Those birds still aren't. Okay, this is W. This is W with Shift. All right, so I think it is time to encounter our first zombie. Let's hope that bird does not choose to attack us at the same time. Okay, so step one, you got your booper ready to go. You know, you got your booper, you got a zombie. So this is the way that you do it. You go in and you lean back. Go in, boop, lean back. Go in, boop, lean back. Go in, boop, lean back. Now, when they're down like that, you can kind of lean overhead and get an extra little shot on them. And amazingly enough, the very first zombie that we killed, we got a loot bag from. This is very, very rare, so I'm going to consider this good luck. We got 8 brass. I'm going to take that, and that bird is really going to be a problem, isn't it? We do not want to deal with him. Now I'm going to make another bedroll to make another save spot, because that bird is freaking me out and I do not want to have to walk through the desert again. Okay, bird, just leave me alone. Okay, so I'm going to throw a bedroll right now. Another thing you might not know, left click, that's how you turn them. I know, that's fun, right? Okay, bird, I can see, you can see the shadow on the ground. And he's just coming in for the kill. If I had a gun, it would be easy work, but I do not. Anyways, okay, so now the game wants us to, in the questing here, craft a primitive bow. So, see a little questing there, primitive bow, and let's just make 15 arrows. Feathers, wood, small stone. Goodness, these birds. All right, boom, done. Now it wants us to craft a wood frame, which is just wood. We're gonna need to collect some more wood before the nighttime comes. Jeez, it's like, this is like super hard mode. It's like, just explain the game, Alex. It's cool. Like, don't worry. There's just a bird circling you endlessly. Okay, now what the game wants us to do is to put this one block in our action bar, and it wants us to place, okay, bird, you're just gonna have to, okay, I'm just gonna place it right here. Boom, and we have a wooden frame. How exciting, our very first building block. No. Where'd it go? Because when you look at them, they like know that you're looking at them, and then they get all nervous and they fly away for a second. So, all right, and it looks like we're gonna have to repair this. So if you're wondering how to repair it, you'll see that this last little bit here is left. You can click repair, or you can just press A. So just like select it, press A, and it'll repair it. Okay, so like I said, this is your almighty most important significant thing that you're going to be using, your stone axe. You go up to an item. Now you can left click to cause destruction, or you can right click, 3 clicks. I recommend holding down. Don't just like 1, 2, 3 it. Hold it down, and now you have upgraded the block, and now you have a more solid block. Now, something that you may not realize, that unlike in other games, this game has physics, which means that the load-bearing weight of the actual block does matter. So as you're upgrading your block, not only does it get more sturdy, it also gets a little bit more heavy. So something we'll go through more in the future, but just be aware that when you're building things, try to build in a way that you think will be a little bit more sturdy. So for example, and I can't show you example, if I made a whole bunch of wooden frames and I went up and then I went like way over, like 30 blocks over like this, eventually there's not going to be enough structural integrity, and then the whole thing is going to fall on the ground. And I will show you that at some point. First, let's just collect a little bit more wood. Another thing, very early game, that I like to always suggest to people who are trying to learn this game is, when you are attacking anything, a tree, a piece of stone, whatever you're trying to do, don't just stand up at the tree and be like, la la la, I'm just gonna get this tree. No, don't do that. What you want to be doing is you want to be turning. You want to be turning. Turn left, turn right, because this game has a way of knowing that you are doing something and that you are distracted because you're not moving and you're doing something, and then that's when they will spawn a zombie directly behind you. That's not fun. That is probably a lot of times when you're in a building or you're doing something and you're getting distracted, or you're like, oh, I'm just gonna leave it here for 2 seconds and not move, then it's like they know, and then they spawn behind you and it gets really scary. So we're gonna not do that, and we're going to always make sure that we're aware. First step, awareness. Thinking about the zombies, where are they, what are they doing? That's the first step to surviving in this game. Also listening for the feats. I mean, Paul Soares Jr. had a version of it of trying to get the feats, but I like to listen for the feats because you can hear it. Hear the sound? See? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's like they just will spawn 10 feet behind you. So again, go back, go forward. Now if you're like, I feel uncomfortable, run this way, give yourself a little bit of space, and then go forward and go back. You don't have to get into too kind of close combat situations with these zombies. You are totally in control of this fight. Go a little bit forward and a little bit back. The way that you know that they're dead is in this bottom right of the screen here. You see the XP. You see that? That's how you know they're dead. Otherwise, they can fall on the ground for a second and then get back up again. That or their head explodes. You know, that's another big indication that they're gone. So let's finish getting this tree. A thing to also know, just a random little fun fact, that you can see currently it's saying 368 out of 1200, and as it's going down, it's destroying the tree. The number is getting less. In the bottom right of the screen, you can see the little XP bonus I'm getting for every single hit. When you finish the whole tree, perfect timing, when you finish the whole tree, you get an XP bonus for completing the entire tree. So when possible, destroy the entire block. You don't have to do the whole boulder. But this little bit here, that little out of 500, that will give you a bonus if you actually finish it. So if you're like close to finishing it, just finish it. That's something important to know. Now, the game is starting to pace up. I'm sure you can kind of notice that a little bit. They're starting to give us a few more zombies. This guy here, higher level zombie. He's going to take a little bit more hits, but he's also going to give you some bonus XP. Now, you may want to be passive and just avoid the zombies at first. You may want to just kind of avoid the higher level guys. That's totally fine as well. Your call. You can kind of run away from them and they'll forget about you. At least when you're outdoors. See? And then we got 750, which is excellent. Alright, well, while we have a moment, let us craft the campfire here, which just takes stones. There we go. We'll place the stones, yeah. Boom. And now we have a campfire. So at this point, we have done skied it. They are impressed. Noah's like stalking us, and he just took a little paper airplane and sent it to us apparently. And now we know that what we have to do is find the traitor. So how do we find the traitor? Who is the traitor? What is the traitor? And where is the traitor? Is all questions that I will totally answer in the next video. So if you enjoyed this, let me know. If you have any particular questions. Okay, that bird though. If you have any particular questions, leave it in the comments. And if you did not know, I do stream this game on Twitch, so check out the links below for that. See, he knows. I start to kind of aim up, and it's like his AI knows that I see him, so then he re-angles. And then eventually, one of these times, I'm going to be distracted, and he's going to just sail right in, and I'm going to start bleeding. It's going to be a whole thing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you in the next video. And like I said, if you have any questions at all or anything like specifically like you want me to make a video about a subject, just throw it in the comments. Let me know, and I will try to make it happen. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you later.